Hi, good morning everybody. We're just waiting for one more panelist, Christina Diogenes. I know she just popped out. But while we're waiting, I just want to make a couple of words, say a couple of words here. I think we're all noticing that Cyprus is going through a profound change right now. The financial crisis has significantly increased investor sensitivity, and in the current low yield environment, it made very challenging to meet investors' expectations and to returns. I think you also, of course, already heard from the likes of Philippe earlier that how the different regulations and the tax transparency affecting Cyprus. And I think from my perspective, we can see a lot of a shift from offshore to the onshore wealth. Yeah, we certainly have experienced a lot of losses due to the wealth repatriation. However, every crisis presents the opportunity, and we actually have seen a very interesting recognition by the foreign investors in things like tourism, infrastructure in the marinas, hotel, golf development. And obviously the largest investment is Europe's integrated casino resort. But also the government-driven incentives and the island's strategic location present quite attractive options of investing in countries' key sectors and establishing these profitable infrastructures. So it gives me an incredible pleasure to actually bring this fantastic panel of the seaside executives who have been successfully applying strategic and structural changes within their business to stay profitable, to continuously grow. So for anyone in this room or for any of your clients that are looking to invest in specific sectors, I think you should have a look at these companies and really take notice in terms of how to become profitable, establish bankable infrastructures here in Cyprus. As you can see, we've got a very interesting diversification of industries here representing different companies, but I do want to start with Christiana. You know, first of all, I have to say thank you very much for giving me that book, 100 Years of PM, your group, PM Teriottis Limited. I think everybody knows you here as the CEO of Unicast, a company that was established in the year when I was born. Now I'm showing my age here. But I think the story goes a lot further back, isn't it?
Yes, hello, good morning. I'm very happy to be here also. Thank you for the invitation, Sean. Yes, our family group has been established basically since 1916, so it's over 100 years old. A group that has been involved in a number of industries in Cyprus over the years, evolving as the Cypriot industry and business evolved with it. So I think we had a lot to learn as a family and as a business, obviously from our history, but also from looking forward. There are some bases there as to how we still are here, and not just here. We are the fourth generation of managers and family managers actually running the business. And I think there's not many businesses, not just in Cyprus, but around the world that can say they have made it to this generation. And we have made it to this generation, and we're doing well and going strong, and hopefully we will reach the next generation as well.
Well, it's the legacy of two men behind you that you
my great-grandfather and my grandfather here,
yes,
who laid the foundations of this business and set the basis of both our business ethos and our family values, which have helped us reach where we are today.
But this is actually quite extraordinary. I mean, going from the man who would have been my neighbor if I'd have moved in Cyprus 103 years ago, because he's from Larnaca, I understand. Yes.
Yes.
And he was selling these soaps, isn't it, from the horse-driven carriage.
In a carriage, and he was going around the villages in Cyprus and showing the ladies how to wash their clothes with bar soap. It all started there, and he grew a business, which was then led by my grandfather, into a business that brought to Cyprus a lot of innovation and a lot of progressive products like packaged goods. There were no packaged goods in Cyprus. We were the first company that brought packaged goods to Cyprus. And through the years, this went on to include the Volkswagen Beetle, which was a huge innovation at the time. The electric consumables, consumer products basically for the home, electronic products like the TV or the video, the ones where you press the button and it goes click, the old ones if some of you remember. Then the first mobile phones in Cyprus were also brought here by our family business, the Motorola, the one that you had to hold.
I had one of those, yeah.
I don't know if you had the first one. The first one was quite, you needed a suitcase to hold it. It was like this.
Yeah, my right arm was bigger than my left arm, you know.
Exactly. And then obviously moving into the digital era, information technology, and as I said before, our group has evolved a lot, moving with the industries and with the times, and a lot of businesses that we were involved in, we're not involved in anymore, which is also, I think, one of the important factors of being able to remain and continue in any culture or any sort of economic environment, is being able to recognize when it's time to move on or when it's time to let go of a business that is declining or is changing and that you cannot follow. Maybe it's not just a matter of, it's not just the industry that might not continue. You might not be able as a company to follow where that industry is going, but the important thing is to move into new businesses and develop those and be able to recognize that.
That's a very good point. I actually got on the back of you some of the various things the currently company involved in. I mean, you are truly a very successful business empire operating here in Cyprus. However, I think it presents a lot of challenges for yourself as a fourth generation. I mean, how do you continue with this legacy of bringing pioneering products? Is there certain diversifications that you're trying to deploy?
Yeah, I think the important thing is to, well, obviously one thing is to build upon our values, and we always base all our decisions on that. So having a professional business ethos, having integrity, which are most important things that our forebears taught us. And the other thing is to rely on experts in the various industries that we work with, and also, of course, to be bold and to look ahead and to be able to read what's going on in the market. What do consumers need? What do businesses need? What is coming? What are trends that are in Cyprus or even abroad, mostly looking abroad in the industries that we operate in, and also continuously looking for new things that we could apply our strengths to and be able to develop. And as I said before, very importantly, to know when to let go. I think that is a very important part of growing, is knowing when you have to let go of certain things and be able to divest or to recognize your mistakes, understand that failure is part of this whole thing, and from failure to be able to learn and grow and be stronger. And one of the things that at least characterizes us as a business and as a group is building on long-term relationships and using those in the future, but also aiming always for long-term value. We never do anything for the short term. At least that is our families and our businesses' basis, and that is what always leads us and points us in the right direction.
That's quite an interesting point, actually. That leads me to another panelist here, Farah. I think legacy is something that you're very familiar with. Your grandfather, Shukri Shamat, I think he pioneered the whole idea of a different tourism and putting Cyprus on the map as a boating destination. But again, like with Christiana, I think that also presents certain challenges in terms of carrying this legacy forward. What were you currently doing?
Well, that's for sure. Legacy is one of my family's favourite words. It's all about the legacy. It's all about continuing the legacy. And there's, I'm sure your family are familiar with it. There's a saying, the first generation makes it, the second generation saves it, and the third generation spends it. Which is why most companies don't make it to the 100-year mark. So
you're the third generation now, right?
We're the third. So there's always, the pressure's on now. I was brought up, my uncles and my dad were always like, please, leave it for your children at least. Let's make it to the fourth. So, it's definitely, there's definitely pressure on there to make sure that we continue this legacy. I'm extremely proud of my grandfather. Similar story. He was originally from Homs in Syria, and again, it's an example of luck and life, and of course, nature's ability that God gave him. He was giving a talk one day in his school, and the president of the American University of Beirut happened to be doing a tour of Syria and be in that village, and heard my grandfather speak, and he said, "I'm going to give you a scholarship to come and study at AUB." And he went to the American University of Beirut. He had a scholarship that covered a third of his fees. He worked at the uni to cover the other third, and he worked outside of the uni to cover the last third. And he was the only person ever at that time, and even until now, no one's trumped it, to graduate at the same time with 5 degrees, all at once, completely separate degrees. So he was definitely a genius. So I hope a little bit of that filtered down through the generations. And
this is your dad, actually, that actually realized and made the whole dream come to reality, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's my father, Nizam Shamas, just spelled wrong there, but it's okay. And yeah, so my dad's also a civil engineer by trade, and my grandfather always wanted to build a luxury hotel resort and marina. And of course, in Lebanon, there was the war. It wasn't going to happen at that time. So he had moved our main business is construction. We have a construction company in Lebanon. And he moved the base of it here during the war in Lebanon. And he fell in love with Cyprus. He simply loved it. And unfortunately, he couldn't leave the base here for too long because of the problem that we still have today. The flight connectivity wasn't so great to send all the executives out. So he moved it to Paris, but his dream was then, I will open a resort here, which is a hotel and marina. So it took a long time to convince the government to give him permission for the marina, because of course at the time, any business in Cyprus had to be owned 51% by a Cypriot.
That's right, yeah.
And my grandfather, well, he wasn't Cypriot and neither did he want the passport. So he finally, I mean, I think after 7 years, we got permission for the marina because he wouldn't build one without the other. And he had a dream for Cyprus. He really did. He loved Cyprus and he wanted to help the product move on to become, you know, the next thing in the Mediterranean. He thought marinas would be the way forward for the island, which the irony is we've only just now, in the last couple of years, started to have more. And a lot of people asked me when the Limassol Marina opened or other marinas have been opened, and they're like, "Oh, are you worried? Are you?" I'm like, no, that's when you're insecure about your business. You know, we want more. We want, you know, a better product. We want people to bring their boats here. We want more boats here. We want the industry to do better.
It complements one another, isn't it? I mean, the ambience for the marina here.
And it's a different product. Yeah, it's completely. I mean, we're about the boats. I mean, obviously we don't have property in our marina. It's a smaller marina, very much more family orientated. And then of course the hotel. So, and my dad built the hotel, so he was the engineer on site. So he literally knows every wire in this hotel, which is amazing. And and he ran it for many years. And then I took over a few years ago when I was pregnant with my second son, which wasn't maybe the best timing of my life, but we've been moving with the times. So in 2006, we were originally Sheraton, as many of you might remember. And then we opened in 86, the marina, 87, the hotel. And in 96, we became St. Raphael Resorts. We broke away from the Sheraton group, we relaunched. And in 2006, we built a 56-bedroom executive wing, which incorporated family rooms. So again, it's like Cristiano was saying, moving with the times, seeing what the market wanted, more families coming to Cyprus, not having to pay for 2 rooms, but still having the luxury of a 5-star hotel. And we also were the first hotel on the island to do a 5-star luxury all-inclusive concept, which many people thought wouldn't work, or they thought it was pour your own beers, get your own ice cream, cheap tourism, which is not the case at all. It's very much a luxury tourism product.
I stayed last year with friends of mine, and all the grown-ups enjoyed it. Kids loved it. Quality of the food was fantastic, and I certainly invite people to experience it as well. Looking forward to repeating it. But I just wanted to kind of ask you, because we see a lot of significant investment now going into this tourism industry, and I see you've sort of responded to the market demand and effectively increasing a quality tourism in Cyprus, because per capita spending, I think, slightly dropping, but that's what we need. We need quality tourism spending good money. And I see you've now diversified your focus, and you're also offering residential within the hotel. Huh?
Yeah, well, we've done 2 things over the last couple of years. The one was to heavily invest in the hotel itself. So we did that over 3 years, and 2 of the winters we closed because it was such a big work. So we've completely renovated the whole hotel. We spent over 10 million euros doing that. So all the rooms were completely gutted and are brand new. The restaurants, the bars, we've changed some concept. We're trying our best to become a more sustainable business model, and do things even before being asked from the government. So, you know, dumping plastic straws and things like that to move to more eco-friendly products. And we also have the first vegan restaurant in any hotel in Cyprus, so that's my baby. And then, of course, the tower. That's our biggest investment in the last few years. So it's a 14-story tower, 12 stories of luxury apartments, 17 apartments in all. And yeah, I'm quite pleased to say we've sold 15 of them. So yeah, if anyone's interested, there's 2 left. And yeah, really beautiful. I mean, stunning views. I mean, you can see the view from here, and then imagine, you know, what you'd see in the tower. It's absolutely amazing. And we've got a specialty restaurant there as well. Beautiful exhibition, art exhibition area. And then, of course, the rooftop, which is exclusively for the residents of the tower, which has an infinity pool and lounge area, and a small gym as well. So it'll be really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I can just imagine myself being on top of one of those. Fantastic views.
And we'll also have apartments for rent there. So it's not, I mean, we've got, obviously, we're selling, but we have many that will be rented for short-term holidays. So yeah, so as you said, it's diversifying our product and giving something different. Yeah.
Well, you're not talking about construction industry. The gentleman sitting next to you with a very serious face at the moment, George Kalimera, welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, it's working.
Yeah, it's great to have you here as well. You've been having quite a busy year.
Yeah, it's great to be back. It's been quite busy lately, even though our story is kind of shorter than the previous 2 panelists. My father started this company in 1990. It was a development company primarily based in Nicosia, but in 1999 we became contractors. And ever since, our contracting arm has been bigger than the development arm. We are one of the largest contractors now in Cyprus. Recently, I've joined the company, my sister also joined the company, so we're doing steps in diversifying the company, and one of those things is, of course, the energy market.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, that's a foundation stone ceremony with the president. So the project I'm talking about is a combined cycle gas-fired power plant located next to Vasilikos power plant, existing one of EAC. And it's a project that will definitely shake up the economy, the whole economy of Cyprus, because electricity is fundamentally the core cost of every single business, including hotels, including construction, trading, manufacturing, everything. Everybody pays electricity. Even the last everybody, every individual, every family pays electricity. So therefore, being true to the values of a family business, we decided that we need to do something that will help our society. We are always in favor of being impactful in our projects and in our businesses. So we said that what the country needs right now, taking opportunity of the opening of the electricity market, is basically a competitor to the existing monopoly of EAC. So here we are. It's a major project, which of course it's up for investment for those who are looking for something different, which of course we can discuss later.
You're doing a presentation later on a project.
I'm doing a presentation on that later.
Looking forward to that, yeah.
Which of course I'm going to give more details about the plant, why we did it, why we're doing it, why it will bring great returns to the investors, and of course why it will help the Cyprus economy as a whole. So, of course, always helping the environment as well. Let's not forget that. The 2020 targets for emissions and for burning heavy fuel oil, it's going to be harsh on Cyprus. The tariffs will go up. Some existing plants will not even have a license to operate. So it's very important for us to build these new gas-fired plants by that time. And it's a very nice period, I would say, to talk energy. Thinking of what's happening around Cyprus as well with the natural gas exploration and upstream findings, and also LNG projects happening around, and any politics affected by these developments.
Energy is not a new project for you, isn't it? You've been building solar parks as well.
Yes, we have already done one small 3 megawatts. I mean, back in the time it was the biggest one in Cyprus, but now they're popping up like mushrooms. We're building more of them. Of course, we're in the solar business because in order to be competitive in the energy generation market, you need to have a mixed portfolio of generation, including gas, fire, and of course solar. Cyprus is ideal for solar power, and there's going to be a lot of solar developments coming up, which of course we also participate in many of them. And we're also contractors of solar plants. We are now building some solar plants for other investors as well. So we have both arms again in that sector.
Thank you. Stefanos, I hope you don't mind if I address it to you. As you can see, real estate is a backbone of the Cyprus economy, and a lot of activities going on in residential, commercial, industrial real estate.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we've spoken about it before, especially on the residential side. You know, the quality standards, I think they're almost non-existent. I mean, how do you, within your company, Alumil, you are a global manufacturer, you know, with aluminium systems, how do you guys address,
Exactly.
the needs of the market here?
Exactly. I think you stole many words from my mouth, but thank you for that. Good morning from myself as well. I'm living in Cyprus only for 2 years, and I have seen this enormous development in the construction business that we are today discussing about. Alumil is a Greek company, but as you can see, the world is, as we say, yellow, because we operate in more than 60 countries. We have developed a lot of projects and high-rise skyscrapers around the world. Cyprus, despite of the small size of the island, is very important because, as also in the previous panel, we found out that there are a lot of projects that are currently under development, but also there are more to come. And quality is unquestionable. So when you build a high-rise, first of all, you need to have safety, and of course, the guidelines should be watched very carefully. Alumil has a great experience behind that. Most of the high-rise in Cyprus are used with our systems. And we are very honored to have tailor-made approach for every developer. So we design together with the developer the solution that would be the most suitable for this specific project.
Thank you. You're doing presentation also
Yes.
later for your project. Look forward to that. Andreas, unfortunately I don't have a photo of you on the back, but thank you for joining here.
Thank you very much.
You represent Pafilia, one of the largest real estate experts here. I think a lot of people, they're sitting in the room, they're interested in real estate sectors and investment. I just wanted to ask you, I mean, what do you see in terms of the inflow investment coming in the real estate? Do you see demand and taste changing?
Thank you, Sean. Thank you very much. Although I'm not part of the legacy of the family, but we believe that as people that represent Pafilia, we are part of the legacy. Pafilia has been in the market for 7 years, and even more than that. Family owned. Mr. Eliadis, the founder, Mrs. Eliadou is now on hand of the running the business, and her husband. So it's a family-owned business. However, it's been in the market and building great product since the beginning. Going back to your question, Sean, we see a lot of interest, and actually Pafilia has been the pioneer in trying to change the real estate spectrum of Cyprus. Only thing you have to look back to is to the first residential high-rising building in Limassol, which is one, which when the company incentivized and started thinking about building the project, there were other questions whether that project would go ahead, whether that would be a success, and we have to say that it's going to be the first finished high-rising building in Cyprus at the height of 170 meters, and it's almost sold out. So that tells the story whether these sort of projects can be successful. Following that success, the company has two other flagship projects. One that is a golf resort that contributes to the tourists and to the investments that are coming into Cyprus. And I will actually be presenting the new project that we're bringing into the market, Neo, which is a new project that will be coming out. It's already out, actually. We started pre-sales. And it's probably going to be the second or third biggest real estate project in Cyprus after the casino. We see a lot of interest. The real estate market, as the previous panelists talked about before, is driven by the Cyprus Investment Program. However, we see a lot of people that are interested in investing and getting return in Cyprus. The biggest example that I can give is linking the real estate a little bit into the tourism sector, where, for example, our Memphis golf resort, it gets a lot of interest from either people that have already bought in Limassol or in Cyprus, and they have already gone through applying for their passport, and they want to make more investments in Cyprus. We get a lot of people like that. These people, they don't have to invest more money, because they already gone through their investment. However, they believe that there is more to come in getting yield from Cyprus real estate market.
Thank you. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have hospitality, we have a diverse industry verticals here. We have energy, which is great opener as well. So these are some of the options that are available. Thank you for the panel. I really appreciate it. We've got another people that are coming up. If I can invite Captain Koch. Yeah.
I would just to finalize this panel because I like it so much. Thank you for sharing this information with us. If it's possible, from each of you, can I have a final wrap-up of this panel? What do you think about investment? So the subject today is investment and investment opportunities and the future of Cyprus. Just a couple of words from you, Christiana, from Farah, from every one of you. What do you expect from Cyprus? You've been here in the morning. We spoke about the future of our country. How do you see this future?
I think that Cyprus needs to grow with its strengths and needs to recognize its strengths, and one of its strengths are the people, obviously, and the capital that is here, the people capital, so the education and all that exists, and to use new technology in order to grow in businesses where it can and in services where it can. So I think that that is a direction. And for us, for example, in our business, we will grow, and our biggest focus at the moment is in our automotive industry in order to follow the disruption that's happening in the industry, because there's a huge disruption in our industry, as of course I think in most industries at the moment. We will be focusing on people and technology. These are the two things that will take us into the future, and I think that's exactly what Cyprus needs to do.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Hi. So I think Cyprus has a huge potential. I think it always has, and I think now is one of the best times for Cyprus. We are not, let's say, the traditional developers. We're building one tower now, and I definitely don't plan to build any more after this year. But I can say from the investors that came in to buy, they were not all passport holders, like the gentleman at the end was saying. That they weren't all looking for the passport. They might have had it, or they just weren't interested. I did have people who bought that were locals, either Cypriot or who already lived here. So there are people who believe in Cyprus. There really are, and I think we're a great product. We have a lot going for us, but we mustn't forget that. So I think we have to think long term, like Christiana was saying, because many people here unfortunately do think short term. I think we have to have the bigger picture in plan and keep thinking long term and really go for that and focus on our core, which is our friendliness, our hospitality, our family values. That is what has always brought people to Cyprus and what people love about Cyprus. And kind of ditch the short-term views and the I can't think of a nicer word for it, the snatching element, the short-term grabbing thing that some people have, and that unfortunately have ruined a lot of reputation for Cyprus. Well, we're getting that back, and we need to make sure we retain it.
Thank you, Farah. George, what's your forecast? What's your vision of Cyprus?
I think, as I said earlier, it's very interesting time about Cyprus because there's a lot of disruption in many industries. We see a rise in the tourism industry. We see a lot of change indeed in the car manufacturing industry. I just bought an electric car, so I'm looking forward to your electric cars. And of course, full electric, yes, definitely. It's going to give a huge rise in the electricity demand again. So going back to the project I was talking earlier, we're talking about doubling the electricity consumption if all of our transportation converts into electric cars.
So we need to have 2 times less prices, otherwise how we will survive, huh? Electricity prices are the highest in Europe, are they?
Yes, don't worry, we're going to get them down for you. And in this interesting time for Cyprus, in this fast-changing world, Cyprus is proudly involved in the hottest industries right now, real estate and construction and also energy. The advantage we bring is that being contractors, designers, we execute our projects on ourselves, so therefore we can control quality and time, which is a major issue for development in Cyprus, and we've seen this around. Andrea was very right that many people question whether some project will be built. So if you are your own contractor, then it makes things a lot easier. So being present in all 3 major cities of Cyprus, Larnaca, Limassol and Nicosia, having at the same time investing into energy and establishing some alternative investment funds, I believe that we offer all the investors a large range of opportunities and an investment in every single category. I don't think there is anyone we cannot satisfy.
Okay, so we're speaking about Cyprus, not about private business. So Stefanos, what do you expect for Cyprus?
It's not a matter of what I expect, but what is the reality. And what I see is that Cyprus is a very well-cut diamond, to continue the presentation, previously. What I see is that there is a lot of space for new developments, because some say that all these skyscrapers will never finish, like the one that Andreas explained earlier, and many other projects. I'm sure that they will finish, they will be sold, 100%. And Cyprus, has a very well framework, has a lot of opportunities. So I'm not afraid about Cyprus. Cyprus will go very well in the next years to come.
Andres, we need to summarize whatever was not said. What do you expect for
Thank
Cyprus?
you. I am, and the company is very bullish about Cyprus and Cyprus' future. However, we understand that the world is flat. We're competing with worldwide companies. We need to make sure that we're present. And what we're doing as a company, we're investing also in human capital and technology, and just Devgen said. It's very important to be ready for the future.
Thank you very much.
Maria,
Sorry, Sean,
sorry.
yes, that I interrupted him. He wanted to let you go, but I didn't want you to let go without the final word. And Cristiana, yours is the last
I just
one.
want to say one last thing. I want to agree with George that something that he mentioned, but we didn't say in the summary, is about the environment and sustainability. And I think that Cyprus needs to be aware of staying relevant and sustainable, and this all that can happen, and that can give us a unique advantage as well.
A big round of applause to our panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the panelists. I'd like to invite Captain Koch, Christos Peters, Elvira Ribas, and George Danos to the stage as well, please.
And I will place the names so they know.
An aspect of your investment portfolios. It gives me a great pleasure to invite Captain Koch, who is the chairman, CEO, and partner of Ustorai Lloyd Shipping Group. For those who don't know, this is one of the oldest group established back in 1846. They were one of the founding shareholders of the Suez Canal. But talking about investment, Captain Koch, why shipping? Why now?
Thank you very much, Natalia, for inviting me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the nice question. I'm not only representing my company, I'm representing the shipping industry entirely in Cyprus. And the shipping industry is considering Cyprus to be the star of the Mediterranean. Let me see, even the star of Europe. The EU jurisdiction plays an important role for shipping. Cyprus is the biggest ship management center in Europe, and number 5 worldwide. We are actually the strongest, one of the strongest pillars of the Cyprus economy. We are contributing 7% to the GDP without any state aid. We are employing about 5,000 shore people, mainly in Limassol and in Nicosia. And finally, we have a tax jurisdiction in place. We have a tonnage tax in Cyprus, which means you are paying a flat fee per ship. You're not paying any corporate tax, which is approved EU-wide, and we can only recommend to all investors to diversify their investments and to have a part of their investments in shipping. Ladies and gentlemen, 90% of the world goods are transported by ships. Can you imagine a world without a lipstick, without the jeans, without a t-shirt, without a car, without a steak in the evening? That's all coming by ships. It's not coming by trains, it's not coming by flights, it's not coming by cars. Everything is coming by ships. So the future of shipping is a great one. Next year we will have 7.8 billion people worldwide. Can you imagine how much trade this will encourage for the future? So the future in shipping is bright. Think about diversifying your investment into shipping. You have a stable investment and you have a yield almost without any taxation.
So with the new criteria for investors that are coming into power in a couple of days, I understand it's becoming even more official now. The investment in shipping sector eligible on the basis of measurable criteria, which will be determined by Shipping Deputy Ministry and Ministry of Finance. Is that music to your ears? That the government finally officially recognizing the importance of the sector?
Yes, it's not only since yesterday. since 1st of March 2018, we have our own shipping minister, to the president. The 3 words to the president means a lot. The president is on top of shipping. We are one of the strongest pillars, and the government wants to increase the shipping investment in Cyprus. So the investor has 2 choices, either to invest in AIFs, which are increasing numbers in Cyprus, or to invest like in a private owned company like mine, where the investor has access to the top management on a daily basis, where he can be part of the board, where he has enjoying 100% transparency. So the government is doing a great job in promoting shipping, and our minister is flying around the world to promote Cyprus and to increase the fleet and the shipping cluster.
Thank you. Christos, I hope you don't mind if I address the next question to you. I think when we're talking about recognition of specific sectors by the foreign investment, you actually represent a very interesting and unique project in Cyprus, where the Lebanese investors recognize the need for establishing health and well-being resort facility. How's it going? You've opened it since now 1st of March, I understand, yeah? 1st of March last year. Yeah. So, in your opinion, do we need to, as a country, do something more to establish us as a center for medical tourism, health and well-being sector?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. Good morning to everybody. The 2 investors saw the gap which was in the medical and wellness sector in Cyprus, and invested about 12 million to develop Eden Resort in Larnaca area, and the project it's a unique of its kind in terms of facilities and concept. Eden Resort is offering first class of accommodation, fine dining, and excellent medical, nursing, and wellness services to people either they are looking for short or long-term stay. It consists of 63 rooms, double, twin, singles, and suites. Has many common areas for relaxation, for leisure, outdoors and indoors. We have a very strong physiotherapy department and spa.
So at the moment it's the only one that officially opened in Cyprus, is that correct?
It's the only one in Cyprus, and I can say in the region. We have big gardens and outdoor leisure areas for people to get active throughout the day. As we said, is the only of its kind in Cyprus, and we'll be happy to see some more investments on this area, on this sector, because Cyprus is lacking of quality places, quality projects for people that they are in need for rehabilitation, for wellness, for senior tourism, and of course for medical support out of the traditional medical sector, I mean hospitals and clinics. We are very happy and proud to say that we have very high occupancy, although we are only 1 year in operation. And we already signed a strategic collaboration agreement with international institutions dealing with healthcare and medical tourism.
I think we've got all the credentials here in the country, you know, the sun, the sea, the qualified personnel, the great technology. I've been to your resort, I've seen what you've done. It's fantastic, right?
Yeah, I mean, these are the basic elements of the Cyprus market. The sun, in terms of tourism, but in general, sun and sea, the Mediterranean diet, the qualified staff in all sectors of the market, and very, I can say, very good infrastructure. But still, Cyprus has to I mean, the government has to support this, the medical tourism sector, because it's the fastest growing sector in tourism worldwide. There is about 9% increase every year, and by 2024 is expected the general income to go up to $30 billion from the medical tourism worldwide.
So there is a big chance to have a piece of that pie.
Yes, there is a very big opportunity, but the government has to support, I mean, by introducing regulations and legislation, because there is no any legislation for accreditation and for the operation of such centers. Yeah.
Thank you, Christos. Elvira, welcome. You are here for a very special reason. Investments in precious metal deserve a very serious consideration, in my view at least, because of the physical and sustainable value. It can be a great portfolio diversifier and an excellent inflation hedge. Because as you can imagine, monetary currencies, even the real estates, are actually quite exposed to overinflated economies. But most of the known commodities are gold, silver and platinum. We are talking here of osmium. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, right. I thought that I would like this chart, but okay. Hello everybody, good morning. I'm delighted to be here amongst such an impressive of investment professionals. Thank you very much for Natalia Kardas and Western Kipra for opportunity to be participation in such outstanding congress. So my name is Elvira Ribas, and I introduce here our company, Osmium Cyprus, and our unique product, Osmium. For your consideration as a unique product. So, yes, Sean, your question was very fascinating, and yes, really, why osmium for investment, all right? So, before giving my own meaning and opinion and my presentation, I would like to just highlight the advantages of this product and underline why osmium has to be such a unique, attractive and active investment in the market. So, well, since the school, I will say many figures now, so be ready. From the school we know silver, gold and the other 6 platinum group metals. Right? Any idea? Rhodium, ruthenium, iridium, palladium and osmium. Osmium is the last. So, as a periodic table, the osmium and the other is the last among the beyond these 8 metals. So it's an incredible rarest metal for investment also. So, and sorry, I'm not good in English, so and I prepared the speech. I just would like to say that.
Sorry, Elvira, I just wanted to intervene a little bit. The speech about osmium is after, at 12:30. Now is your vision on investment in this, okay? No osmium speeches now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. For correction, yes, now we are in the years that we are open the crystallized osmium. So I wanted to talk about the raw osmium. It's a very hard juice metal, and now in 2013 in Scientific Switzerland laboratory I was getting the crystallized osmium. So I can
We
chat
invited
along,
this business
and I
here
would like
for
to
you.
show this
Yes, to
crystallized
yeah.
osmium that's now in my hands. Okay,
Yes.
so
Something
each
not
weighs
new
only
in
1
investment.
ounce. It's only 1 ounce, 28 grams. And if, for example, now in the market the price of raw osmium just 20-25 euros per net per gram, this cost in my hands 30,000 euro.
So
Where
it's a way
is
to
my
say.
bodyguard?
It's a way
Okay,
to
I
say
trust people
new
and I
ways
trust
of
you. So,
investment.
for investment, the unique now the situation. We are just at the beginning of a new market of crystallized osmium. Later you can see how it's shining and brightening. So, at the beginning, just everything is started. The secondary market is also started. Everybody understood that it's rarest and unique metal and also the product for investment. So, I would like to say that you have a unique chance, great chance to be pioneers, to be the forefront. I'm here, our company here, to give it for you this, to be the first in investment also. And in short, you can invest your money in this product, investment boxes, a small invest box, and also to the jewelry industry. What will be in the
I
two,
need to
three...
interrupt you right here. Advertising is prohibited. So, a new investment opportunity, investment in the rare metal. Advertising will be afterwards. Agreed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lira.
George, I saved you for last, again, I had my own views on it. Yuri Gagarin became the first human to journey into outer space with Vostok spacecraft back in 1961. Your organization pledged to return to the moon now, and you're looking to establish Cyprus out of all places as a hub for space education, research and development. But we are at Invest conference here. So are there any opportunities for people to invest in this particular industry? I noticed that recently private sector has been interested in participating in partnership in federal space programs and commercial flights. What's your view? What are the opportunities?
The space exploration sector has been slowly being privatized. Before, all the investment was coming from the governments. But now we see slowly, known companies, I don't know if I'm allowed to say names, for example, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, have been coming into this sector very fast. So we see a privatization of this sector. The figures indicate that the revenues of the space sector in 2017 alone were 353 billion. So the space sector is not just looking for science and exploration of the planets to understand our origin and all the different scientific questions, but it's bringing answers back here to Earth. So I'll give some examples. We spoke about precious metals. There are myriads of precious metals on asteroids and are readily available to go and collect without digging into the ground here on Earth with potentially higher cost. So some of the scarce metals are available out there, and especially our moon is absolutely littered with asteroids that crash on the moon and its precious metals there. So if I go about our organization, the Cyprus Space Exploration Organization, we are not a governmental organization, nor are we the space agency of this country. It's called the Cyprus Space Exploration Organization because I lived most of my life abroad, and when I decided to come back here, I decided to call it the name of my country and base it here for all the right reasons. So we know that Cyprus has got the sun, the sea, but it's got something else too. It's got bright minds. Specifically, Cyprus is either the first or second, tied with the other first country, of the highest percentage of graduates at the university level. So we have a high caliber of bright minds that we can utilize. But at the same time, we know that Cyprus is friendly, impartial, and we were very lucky that with all our efforts, these efforts have been recognized, and it has been a great honor to be appointed as chairman of the International Consortium for colonizing or testing the technologies that will colonize the moon. So we invited our friends to come here from around the world. We had the chief scientist of NASA, we had the director of the Russian Space Institute, we had from India, we had from many European countries, UK, Germany, France, Italy, and others. We had from the Arab countries, from China, and they all came here in October, and unanimously they decided that Cyprus would be their base for research, so that all that huge amount of money that is available around the world, some of it can now be utilized here in synergy between all the countries in order to go out there and bring benefits to humanity. Energy, resources, answers, solutions to climate change, and even one other solutions.
So there are opportunities for private sector to get involved?
Major opportunities, and needless to say that if you have such a hub in an impartial location, the opportunities are many, and we have been working with top people in seeing what are the returns to private people, not just the governments, in investing in this sector. So if anyone wants to speak to me afterwards, I'm very happy to elaborate.
I would like to thank Sean for first of all, because he brought to us so different speakers, representatives of different industry. Even in this panel, we have traditional shipping that has years in Cyprus, but still innovating. We have a new precious metal, and it's not, it may be the last one from the precious we know, but because of Mr. Danos, we know that we will find somewhere in space more. And we have medical tourism that has its own way, because it's not only about medicine, it's about new servicing industry for elderly people, for those who are third age people. So we can continue this conversation afterwards and to see what are the prospects of investment in all these fields. And I would like to thank our panelists and Mr. Alimov for preparing this 1 hour constructive dialogue that we had here today. So a big round of applause to the panel and its moderator. Thank you very much.